It is indeed, and we have readies from both players. So we're gonna get our countdown. 3, 2, 1, pills.
We're having a little trouble with our bot today, so just keep that in mind. Dar's with a really interesting first
Ooh,
pill.
yeah,
I
and this
wonder.
board.
I
Go
gotta
ahead.
wonder in a speed running situation if you don't go ahead and that being the very first pill you see, set it up for a nice combo and just kind of wait and see if that double yellow, which did just come, ends up coming in for you. Obviously not a race safe strategy, but man, oh man, I wanted it for him immediately.
And speaking of good combos, Betty started off her level with some great stuff. She had a nice horizontal at the top of the board and then a quick combo dropping down. Now, her board's really interesting. Notice it's basically all 4, 5, and 6, or sorry, 5, 6, and 7, and then 1 and 2 high up. So she's a couple viruses back from Dars. We'll see if the red shows up for her.
Yeah, that spire's not what you want to see. That's the RNG for us, but man, oh man, it's not pleasant. But
Mm-hmm.
that's the game. This is the game we play. We all know it coming in. We may not love it, but that is absolutely Dr. Mario that we know and love. As Dars gets
Wow.
a nice sweet tea. I was thinking that was his last virus, but he's out and Betty out. But because Betty started a little bit later, Betty is on about a 5 to 10 second lead.
Yeah, and she had an excellent finish to her level, Ook. Just she was juggling some stuff. You saw her a little bit angry about a long drop time that she had, but she was making good moves and saving for that nice puck at the end of her level. Now, at the beginning of this level 7, Dars has this mostly red top line, mostly red yellow. But it's a speedrunner's delight if he can get down to it, because look at all those doubles on the right hand side, Ook.
Yeah, absolutely. Meanwhile, on Betty's side, she's gotten rid of most of it, but it was very red on her top line, and even now, the doctor still hasn't given her everything she needs to get that cleared out. Basically, she needs reds and red yellows and pretty much nothing else for a little bit. Hopefully, the doctor's going to be a little kinder. As oh, she makes a misdrop. That's just nerves. She's going to get past that, and Betty's one of our better versus players. So yeah, she's just going to combo that out, find a way to make it work, and probably use the garbage to make something spectacular.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Dars is out at about a 240. Very nice clean play from him. And as he starts off into this level, he needs blue yellow. And luckily, a little bit of it is going to come. But he's got to make sure that he doesn't gum up the works with any extra red that shows up. Nice combo coming from Dars in column 7 and 8. And looks like he's just going to have to clear that garbage in column 3 if blue is going to be at all useful for him.
Yeah, like you said, he's trying not to gum up the works, but sometimes that's just the way it goes. Managed a little bit. Betty sees that horizontal yellow and gets out at a 315, but I know she's feeling it. But if she can get herself just kind of calm down a little bit, this is by no means a done deal for this first game.
No, not at all. On Dars's side, he is just finally clearing out that red garbage that's in column 3, but he does have column 5 kind of candy cane sometimes, or stop lighted as we say, with the red, yellow, red, with very little room to build out horizontally to clear that red garbage that way. But the yellow is coming for him, so things are looking okay for him right now, but he's going to have to work that out, and I think it's going to have to be vertically.
Yeah, it's a tough little piece that he's got. I mean, he does have the opportunity to stack it up, but whatever he does is going to give Betty some time. We saw earlier she had what looked like a whole bunch of garbage going down, and then versus Betty just came out and showed us that it was all in the plan, all part of it. It was taken care of, and that's. We talk sometimes about how versus isn't the same as Dars out at a 442, about the differences between versus and the speed game. But It's really nice when you've got the versus skill to fall back on, as we
Oh
just
my
saw with Betty.
gosh.
That was a
Yeah,
heck
that
of
was
a
amazing.
combo. And, she has been, I know, working on trying to convert some of her game more to a speed style when she's playing the speed tournaments. But, if that fails, it's really great knowing that she's got that versus background to fall back on because it can really save her. Because she's used to looking for things that speed players don't usually look for.
hmm That's definitely for sure. And she's been putting up some great times this week as she's been sharing with us in Discord. Dars got out of level 8, obviously, first. Started off his level 9 really nicely. Had a great fat log towards the top of the board. And, you know, darn it, Duke, if your pipes weren't so silvery and lovely to listen to, I would have interrupted with a woohoo. So he's doing really nicely. And he this red yellow stuff is not what he's looking for. He definitely needs blue and yellow. So that's going to, just take some time there. And especially now that his board is a little bit higher up on two sides, he's got a funnel situation. This might be a little slowdown for Dars.
Yeah, he's definitely having to work out some things. And yes, that's going to give Betty a chance to get some making up to do, but she was about 30 seconds behind, so it's still going to be a bit of a task for her to get through it, but she is really plowing through this board. Again, finding things that most speed players don't tend to see unless they are also, established versus players, somebody like Packy, like Swang. But yeah, it's going to be tough for her to get caught completely up, but she is sure going to put in a really good showing right at the end of this first game.
Yeah, and speaking of good showings, Dars had a nice combo down the left side of the board, but now it means that this one last blue pill is kind of locked up. Really nice swag garbage clear, though, that cross opens everything up. And of course, just in time to get only red yellow, one last blue, and he's out at a 7-12. He wins that first game.
GG's for that one. Betty is hoping for a double red, actually for a pair of double reds. Looks like she might. Yeah, if she gets a double red now, it'll at least do something, but this is not SNES version. She is going to manufacture one and get a pretty sweet combo out of this. But yep, this is Betty's game. This is the way she loves to play it. And now it's just a matter of knocking out this last little bit as Dars gets himself reset for game 2, and Betty's just looking for 3 more reds.
Oh yeah, and you see that spin at the end. She's not happy with that. She's out at a 750.
So that's not what she wants, but she'll improve on that in the next game because this is Betty. She's tough. She's got this. And Dar's playing really good for that first game, so he's going to try to make it a clean sweep. Betty's going to try to force a decider in the first game of our second day.
All right, so we have a ready from Dars, waiting on a ready from Betty. All right. We've got both players ready, and so we're going to have our countdown in just a few seconds. In 3, 2, 1, pills!
Right, as with last time, Dars is the first one out of the gate. He's got a pretty heavily blue top line, but it's not going to last that way for too much longer. As Betty is out, she's got a very nice diverse board. So a little bit of an advantage to Betty as they just with the very beginning of this level, especially with this double blue blitz, you never see that.
Yeah, definitely. That's an interesting start to that. I loved the way that Dars started his level. Just there was this blue-red formation on the left-hand side, and it went off beautifully. So this level looks so great for him, just very smooth. It's not very complicated moves that he has to do with this board, and it's just everything's coming down nice and evenly. Meanwhile, Betty's got a lot of red to contend with, and if she doesn't get a yellow-red, a big formation that she's working on at the bottom of her board is not going to go. And she sees it. There we go. She's got that sweet tea down at the bottom.
Meanwhile, on Dar's side, he's got some pretty specific pill needs right now. That double yellow. Oh, didn't put it on the right-hand side.
Yeah,
I
I was wondering
disagree
about
with that
that.
wholeheartedly. Now a red-yellow will be fine, but he really had the opportunity to just skip any drop time easily. He found a way to do it, but
Yeah, and he's out at
it's a
about a 127.
and gets a nice start to this next level.
Yeah, Betty's looking a little bit hung up. You saw that she had a couple of moves at the top of her board that she wasn't a big fan of. But Ook, column 1 is going to be really difficult for her. And it looks like she's signaling that she's going to try to clear that blue horizontally, and maybe the fat log wasn't quite there, but oh my gosh, never mind. I saw that amazing garbage drop tee, so nicely done for Betty, as Dars also has a great combo of his own.
Yep. Eddie just now waiting for that last yellow. She had an opportunity to take it out just a few pills earlier, but out at a 206. Again, this is not where she wants to be, but it's certainly not insurmountable from where she is. But she's going to be about a level behind if Dars gets the pills that he needs.
Yeah, and Dars has really been playing amazingly. There have been some great combos here, efficient play. And now, this part of the board, not great. It's locked up because notice column 3. He is dependent on that blue-yellow, which he gets, but he's also signaling that he's setting up for the horizontal with the blues in row 2, which can't come off unless those yellows happen. So he's got some dependencies going.
Yeah, he wants those 2 yellows to go off in a T. Really just wasn't able to come up with that. That takes some real thinking on the fly. But out at a 303 still, that's a time that you're never gonna turn down if it's offered to you.
And for those just tuning in, often we're seeing times that are under 8 minutes. Actually, pretty much always we're under 8 in this bracket, but we love to see players going for under 7, and it looks like Dars is on that track. Meanwhile, Betty, a nice horizontal there. Column 1 is a little bit tricky, but now that, or column 8 rather, but she just cleared out the garbage, left things free. And I think she's going to be going for the blue at the top of column 8 last. And this yellow is going to help with that, eliminating some drop time. And yeah, she's looking good. A nice lightning rod for Betty, but drop time that she doesn't like.
Meanwhile, over on Dar's side, he's finding himself in those dependencies again. It's just a weird bottom to this board. This red-blue, that's the place I would have used it, and that'll simplify his day just a little bit. But he's got these competing horizontals on the bottom. It looks like he's going to set it up, and yeah, he's going to take
it. Sorry, I just had to interrupt Betty's amazing move just there. You saw her setting up for a combo for a really long time, and then she got it, and it was so satisfying. Gotta say, one thing is there's a glitch in this game where if you get too many things going on at the same time, too big of a combo, you can break the game, and Betty has done it in bracket play, so I was a little worried that was going to happen this time. Ook, continue what you were saying.
Oh, no worries. Actually, it doesn't, as happens so often when commentating this game. What I was going to say is now completely out of date. Dar's out at a sub 5. And is on to the last level of this block, but Betty has made quite a bit of progress catching up. She's going to have to pull in a little bit more, but she wants this fat log. She's got that set up, and if she can get some reds, get some blues, get a red-blue, and she'll be out pretty shortly here.
And in the start of Dars's level, he's got a lot of blue-yellow to contend with, but notice in column 1, I definitely think that blue-yellow was a misdrop from him. It sort of blocked some things up a little bit, but things are not going too badly for him. He's getting the pills that he wants. just that column 1 is tricky, and playing on high speed, it's going to be slightly difficult to slide things over. I think he'd be better clearing out column 2 and then going for a tuck in between those yellows.
But nothing to do with blue right now on Dar's side. As Betty has finished, she had one little drop at the end that just was so irritating to her because she was getting none of the red of the blue that she needed. But yeah, she's definitely she's getting frustrated by the pills that she's getting. But overall playing a good game. As these two really putting on a good first game for us. It's certainly not over. And
Dars finally did get that situation cleared out. All the blues on top of row 1 were gone. He didn't, or sorry, column 1 were gone. He didn't need to do that red first, but notice the yellows are still there hanging out. We'd love a double yellow to come through, and this double red blitz just in time. Amazing. So he's going to be out pretty soon, just needs this one last yellow. And Dars is moving on to round 2. So he took a 7:02, nice time, and a good show from both players.
Absolutely, GG's. And Betty gives a clap as she continues on because every like we said earlier, every little bit is going to count here. So we'll see if she finishes this board out. With the combos.
Yeah, Uka's talking about the end of year championship. So we don't do a standard monthly in December. Rather, the whole year standings contribute to one bracket of 16. And so everyone's chasing those last couple of points. And this is the last month where a new player could potentially come in and get into that year-end tournament because you have to participate in 3